All right, welcome back to our special coverage of the Cats in the SEC tournament. Let's get some more perspective on today's unfortunate events.
Yeah, Keith talked to Jack Goose Givens of the UK Sports Network earlier today.
Well, Goose, not the way that we thought this might turn out. I think the most frustrating, the thing I couldn't figure out is how they seemed to get off to such a slow start, knowing they needed to fight to keep this season going.
Yeah, it was really frustrating watching that first half. I just thinking they're going to get going. They're going to get going. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you got a minute left and you're down whatever they were down at halftime. And I said, well, they're not going to get going, you know. But yes, that first half was kind of hard to figure.
And the thing was, there was, for the game, 17 layups for Mississippi State, 2 dunks. I mean, it was just continually inside, which was mind-boggling.
You know, our bigs are what they are. Now, number one, we need Jackson in the game, and he had to play that whole first 20 minutes. Obviously, he wasn't able to do that. Sarr is not the kind of guy who's going to put up the resistance that Jackson will, but Sarr can't let him do what they did in this game. I mean, that's just a fact. He cannot afford in this game to be pushed around, to give up dunks, to give up follow-up layups, guys just danced right to the basket. And we've seen that all year, but it can't happen today, and it did.
All right, so they did fight back. Dante Allen got it going. That's encouraging to see. And Dante said after the game, we never quit this season.
And they didn't. I mean, I got to give them a lot of credit because I went to practice specifically to say, man, these guys have to be down. I mean, I thought they'd be under the court sometimes, but I never saw any sign that they were giving up. And I have to give Calipari a little bit of credit about that because he would not let them. He was coaching. It seemed like he was enjoying teaching these guys, and they were trying to soak it all up. It was just a bad situation of a lack of talent that we've grown used to, and a lack of experience. And that's a really bad combination when you're Kentucky and everybody wants to beat you.
All right, so moving forward now, you talk about a team that's got a couple of McDonald's All-Americans coming in. Yeah. I mean, how many, can you put your finger on what you think you can see with some of these guys turning pro, coming back? I mean.
Well, I know 2 or 3 guys will lose them, either through transfer or taking that next step. I think what all of the guys probably figured out, I mean, if they're smart at all, they figured out, man, that NBA is not quite ready. I'm not ready for them. They're not ready for me. So, except for Jackson, who will be drafted, and he showed again today when he was on the floor. But I never was scared of guys coming in competing for my minutes. My approach was, hey, I'm going to get my minutes. You all are fighting for all the rest of them. I would love to see these guys say, Coach Cal, go get everybody you can get. Bring them here and let's see if they're good enough to take my minutes. I mean, that was my philosophy, and I hope guys have that instead of saying, oh, he's bringing in 2 5-stars. You were a 5-star, and you didn't play the way you were supposed to play this year. Why do you think they would?
P.J. Boston, I feel like, I know he's got a decision to make, but I feel like he could be like that P.J. Washington, that Emmanuel quickly, get stronger, and he's learned the game a little bit now. Just
think if he puts on 10 to 12 pounds of muscle in his legs as well as his upper body. Just think now he's going attacking the basket. Instead of flipping and behind the back and showing how pretty he is, he's dunking in somebody's face. That's what the NBA is looking for. And yeah, it would be nice if he came back along with a couple of others. I'd like to see Terrence Clark come back. I'd like to see Sarr come back. I'd like to see Mintz come back. And of course, Askew now has a chance to learn. He's had a year, and he's going to get better as well.
All right, so the season not maybe going on for this team, but we get to relive a magical moment on Monday night that all of BBN can get behind, and that's one that you were a part of with the 1978 championship team. Yeah. Just talk about maybe some of the things we can expect to see in that documentary on Monday night.
You know what, I watched that, they sent me a copy of it, and I watched it last night. I was up watching it like 1:30 this morning. And I got into it, and it was so daggone good. I said, well, I'll watch the first 20 minutes today and man, I couldn't stop watching. It was really good. And you hear stories. Coach Hall talks, of course, all the guys, Roby and Mike Phillips, unfortunately, didn't have an opportunity to, but Candy, his wife, and Michael, his son, had an opportunity to say a few words. So you hear from everybody. A lot of stuff you have not heard from our guys. So it's going to be fun to watch. The producer kept calling, man, please like it, please like it. And I texted him this morning. I said, man, this was awesome. So I'm looking forward to the Big Blue Nation having an opportunity to see it. It's going to be a lot of fun, 9 o'clock Monday night.
I can't wait for it. I cannot wait. Goose, you've been great all season. We appreciate your time that you've given us.
Thanks for
appreciate the insight.
Thanks for letting me be a part of the show.
Guys, back to you.
We'll have more after this.